watching Red TV. Feel the heat.
My M-Pesa names are Atawandera, aka known as DJ Space or VDJ Space. And those are both my names, government and industry names. Production journey, my background is in music, so I'm a trained musician. That's what I studied, performance and composition. So when I went into first year in college, I started getting more to know industry players, and I met a big shot producer called Bruce Odhiambo. And I started working with Bruce Odhiambo as a studio engineer, and on the side I was DJing to make a buck or two, just to do the usual, you know, pay fees, get some money to build. And with that experience, doubling up as a DJ, I started producing acts in the studio, worked with Princess Julie then, I've worked with Mercy Myra, I've worked with a couple of guys, No Nini. So that's how my journey basically was. I didn't produce commercially then in terms of mainstream music. I started doing a lot of jingles. Jingles were paying better, it was faster. 25, 30 seconds, quick melody. So I shied away from the industry. The music industry still had a lot of problems. Musicians not getting paid well enough, a lot of royalty issues, and systems and structures in the music business had not gotten there. So for a while I shied away from mainstream music and I just did jingles, and slowly I started sliding into it when the systems and structures started getting better and there was a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Challenges in the industry have been that musicians, you know, have been feeling a bit shortchanged. But these are due to different causes or reasons in the market. You know, lack of proper systems or structures in terms of billing, collecting, remuneration. You know, and I'm sure most markets in the world have gone through the same thing through CMOs or collecting management organizations. You know. In this case, in Kenya, we have Music Opera Society of Kenya, CAMP, which is Kenya Association of Music Producers, and PRSK, Performance Rights Society of Kenya. Some of the challenges are there's no proper billing model for musicians because there's a blanket fee. That's why digital is starting to come on board, getting softwares that can actually do proper ratings and monitor downloads, which means if I get airplay, I get my track gets played 2,000 times, your track gets played 100 times, obviously I need to get paid more because the reason there are consumers interested in my music. Such systems haven't been there. So there's assumptions, just blanket systems. Challenges like producers who moved away and who had the proper talent and passion and knowledge to produce, our quality of music went down, which means the people who went into the business, and nowadays, you know, you can buy a laptop, buy a microphone, buy a sound card, and create some beats, and all of a sudden you're a producer. What happens is just because you can put together some kicks and drums on rhythm and play some notes doesn't necessarily qualify for good music, because the producer, a good producer always has an ear for talent, an ear for something interesting, for the catch. You know, you might be a rapper, but what's your edge? So the challenges is when the Bruce Odhiambo, the Ted Josiahs, the David Moravis, Ogopa DJs moved to Namibia. These good producers pulled away because the industry wasn't sustaining them. And what happens is there was a vacuum left. So mediocrity obviously checks in, and even both in production and in singing. So for a long time, and West Africans trashed us, you know, Cameroonians, Nigerians, they're like, what's going on, Nairobi? You guys are nowhere. But slowly it's changing because we formed a music think tank and brought back all the guys who had the passion, all the guys who had knowledge in production, all the guys who had exposure. You're like, guys, look, this industry is dying. There is opportunity. There is a vacuum. West Africa and South Africa is infiltrating our market, and of course the Western world. There's a lot of hip hop. There's a lot of shoki dancing in the club, in concerts. So we try to change all that, and just say, guys, let's try and get our Kenyan music back. So we've done forums, we have policy papers, we petitioning government, petitioning CMOs, we bringing lobby groups, creating policies, trying to see, can we bring all this energy and do sort of a synergy just to try and propel the industry forward? Can we bring guys to just discuss all these issues and find a proper model that works for the music industry? So the artist is satisfied, we can retain talent, concentrate on building the artist, and as a whole, the industry in general. And producers are sitting together, politicians are sitting together, lobby groups are sitting together, and the creative industry in general to just find a proper creative economy. Pioneer producers did well, but then again, there was a bit of selfishness where it was about the producer more than the act. It's supposed to be a bit of synergy in the market where the producer has talent to bring together the different talents and acts and presenting that to the world in form of recorded media or arranged media. Tejuza did well, with the necessary noise, the Kalamashakers, then he moved into a different business because music business wasn't necessarily giving back something equivalent to his investment and energy. But now Ted is back, a few other producers have gotten back, We formed a music industry think tank just to try and tell guys, you guys have the passion, you guys have the knowledge, please come back. Because what happened was, when the guys who were interested in the music business got discouraged, they went into corporate. So guys started forming event companies, marketing agencies, and different businesses. But now what we're trying to do is to bring together this talent, this passion, and that's why we have forums everywhere. That's why we have creative economy sessions on TV. I'm trying to build a business model that's maybe three-pronged approach, that's both in touring, which means events, in the record business, and into the talent business. So currently I'm working on 2 compilation albums, and this is something that we're going to be doing every year, and this is from a production angle. The compilation album it's going to push or propel Kenya or East African music forward, but there's no segregation. So we're working with a lot of West African acts and South African acts. So the compilation has acts like Avril from Kenya, it has Frasha, B-Unit, it has The Council, already talked to artists like Mr. Flavor. I've sent Yemi Alade 2 tracks. She's listening to them, starting to write on them. We're working with Zwei Bala from South Africa, on Bala Brothers, formerly of TKZ, writing together. We're trying to see, can we get music and build our industry through content and find a bigger approach or bigger agenda for Africa? And you can only do that with people, partners from all over the world. The main idea, like what we're working on with Zwei Bala, is we have a campaign called Oneness, which means one Africa, one song, rather one verse or one theme. So what we're trying to do is find different acts, build compilations, and use this music to push oneness for Africa together for a bigger agenda. So it's just marrying these different industries and see, can we create a bigger agenda? It's easier to listen to themes and issues from Africa, for Africans, through song. We are a very involving society. You know, that's why it's easy when I start singing, someone else joins me in dance, someone else starts clapping. That's our nature. So it's easier to push issues through the arts and through music. That's one thing in terms of the compilation music. Two, in terms of production, we're trying to see, can we find partnerships worldwide, you know, in terms of publishing, spreading our wings, spreading our music worldwide. Can we create platforms for performance? Can we get models like Live Nation and see, can we tour and expose people to African content, African music? Can we get models like Ticketmasters and see, how come these businesses don't exist in Africa? How come such ideas don't flourish here? Is it that we don't think that much? Is it that we are too scared? Is it that we don't have boldness? Is it that also the private sector does not invest enough capital in the creative arts business? You know, such issues have always been a problem. So what's big is just that, you know, create more content, expose more arts, use the digital platform freely. It's an open market. How do we expose people to more content from Africa, and do the three-prong approach in terms of developing a business model for Africa, and that can be, you know, accepted by the world for the creative arts.